Everyone thinks the Taylor GS Mini Mahogany is the perfect travel guitar that magically replaces your full-size acoustic, but here is the thing, it can be a waste of money if you expect Dreadnought Thunder. And yet, what I discovered over a month of testing is that this little mahogany box can punch way above its size if you set it up right and use it for what it does freakishly well. I gigged it, tracked it in a treated room, dragged it through winter humidity swings, and beat it against a full-size guitar on a decibel meter and in mixes. The surprises. They blew up a few assumptions and might change which version you should actually buy. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. The GS Mini Mahogany runs around $599 on Amazon with an average 4.5-star rating. If you are already convinced and want the best price, link is below, but hang on because my tests uncovered a couple gotchas you will want to know first. Here is why I even bought this thing. I needed a couch-to-campfire guitar that would not fight me, would fit in an overhead bin, and would not sound like a shoebox when I mic it at home. I had tried a baby Taylor years ago and loved the portability, hated the thinness. I owned a little Martin that was tough as nails but never gave me the sparkle I wanted on recordings. I'm a working player who splits time between quick session work and weeknight songwriter rounds, so I need a grab-and-go acoustic that is reliable, records clean, and does not stress me out with setups. I went in skeptical, layered back and sides at this price, really, but the internet chorus kept saying the GS Mini is the exception. So I grabbed the mahogany top version, put it through a 30-day gauntlet, and kept notes the whole time. First test, projection and tone in a real room. I set a SBL meter 1 meter from the sound hole and did aggressive strumming with 1253 strings. Peak hits landed around 92-94 dB, with a steady strum average near 82 dB that is not Dreadnought volume, but it is shockingly close for the size. The EQ curve. Warm mids from the mahogany top, a controlled low end that does not woof out, and a top end that is present but never brittle. Great for singer-songwriters strumming and micking with a small diaphragm condenser. But then I pushed it harder. On big open chords, the short 23.5-inch scale softened string tension enough that the low E could get a little flubby if I really dug in. Switching to 13s tightened it up instantly. More on that in a second. Second test, playability and intonation. Out of the box, my action measured about 2.2 on the low E and 1.8 on the high E at the 12th fret. Neck relief was stable even as my room humidity swung from 35 to 55%. Intonation was within plus or minus 5 cents up to the 12th fret, which is excellent for a short scale. Bar chords felt effortless thanks to that reduced tension, but then fingerstyle revealed a trade-off. The 111/16-inch nut means tighter string spacing. If you are used to a 1-3-4 nut for fingerstyle, you will notice it. Not unplayable, just compact. A capo on the 5th fret kept things in tune nicely. I did not need to retune between songs. Third test. Build, durability, and travel. The top is solid tropical mahogany. The back and sides are layered sapele. The neck is sapele with an ebony fingerboard. Taylor's bolt-on neck design keeps setup tweaks simple. Finish is a satin that resists fingerprints and wears in gracefully. Fretwork was clean, no sharp ends even in dry air. The included gig bag is one of the best in the price range, thick padding, neck support, and backpack straps. I took it on 2 commuter train runs and 1 short flight. It fit overhead without drama and came home without a mark. But then I left it on a stand in a dry room overnight. The action did not creep and the neck stayed straight. Stability is a big win here. Fourth test, recording and live. Unplugged into a mic, the GS Mini Mahogany sat in a mix better than my big body guitars. It is less low-end sprawl, so you spend less time ecking mud. That alone sold me for home recording. For live, my unit is the acoustic-only version, but I borrowed a friend's GS Mini Mahogany with the EaseB system to compare. The onboard tuner is a lifesaver on dim stages, and the pickup is plug-and-play, though it is a bit quacky if you crank the treble. If you know you will play out, the E version makes more sense than adding a pickup later. Here is where it gets interesting. The single biggest upgrade to this guitar is string choice. With 12s, it is comfy and open, but you can hit the ceiling fast when you strum hard. I swapped to 1356, tuned down a half step to balance tension on the short scale, and the guitar bloomed. Low end tightened, mid stayed sweet, and the top softened in a way that made recording a dream. I put in about 20 hours of A/B tracking between gauges, so this was not a quick impression. The other surprise, the GS Mini Mahogany beats many similarly priced travel guitars in intonation and neck stability. Compared to my little Martin and a Parlor from another brand, the Taylor simply stayed in tune better across temperature swings. Too good to be true? Not quite. You are still getting layered back and sides, so dynamic range is more limited than an all-solid concert-sized guitar. If you are a heavy-handed strummer who lives in drop tunings, you may want a full scale. If you are a fingerstyle purist who needs wider spacing, consider a Martin 0JR or a Taylor with a 134 nut. But for songwriter rounds, couch sessions, and clean home recordings, this is the sweet spot. Now that you know string gauge and setup are the secret sauce, you will want to grab the right version before stock cycles. If you plan to gig, get the GS Mini Mahogany with Ease B. If you are studio first, the acoustic only is perfect. Link is in the description for the best current price. Bottom line, the Taylor GS Mini Mahogany earns that 4.5-star buzz and justifies the $599 tag if you play to its strengths. Buy it if you want a compact, stable, great-sounding guitar for writing, recording, and easy travel. Skip it if you need dreadnought power, a wider nut, or all-solid woods for maximum headroom. Small guitar, big truth. Do not waste your money chasing full-size thunder, but do not sleep on how professional this little Taylor can sound when you set it up right.